Pub Sports Radio, MLB closing time show for Thursday, May 20th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mack, and our Thursday guest, Jose Bouquett, with us, ready to break down the Thursday card. 2 games underway already. We'll go right to the next one to get the first pitch fired, and that's the New York Yankees and the Texas Rangers. Domingo Germán taking on Dane Dunning, your pitching matchup here. The Yankees were pretty moderate road favorites initially. We're seeing some Texas money roll in here, though. Down now to about minus 115 for the Yankees as road chalk. Total 7.5 here in this game between these two. Domingo Germán progressively improving, no question, as the season has gone on. For the New York Yankees. Keep in mind, a part of this line move for the Yankee toward Texas, I should say, is a couple of sticks not in the lineup, namely Stanton and Judge today for the New York Yankees, not in their starting lineup today. So I think there's a little bit of the betting markets taking notice of that as a way to explain why Texas is taking so much money. But I also think it's a little respect for Dane Dunning, who's been decent this season, although he's kind of trajected in the wrong way the last few games. He's trying to work on a few things. The last couple of starts haven't been quite as sharp for him. We'll see if he can continue here down the downward path, but he's definitely tailed off after a strong start to the season. And like I said, on the flip side for Domingo Germán, he's picked it up big time after a slow start to the season. 1 run allowed in 6 innings in his last start against the Orioles. So, I do favor Germán in terms of current form right now, as opposed to Dunning. But I don't like this Yankees lineup. And that's the benefit now of being so close to the first pitch. You get to see the lineups already. And this Yankee lineup is nothing to write home about today. So I'm not going to be involved in this game. We've got a special guest. I'm not talking Jose now as we throw it to him. Talking about, I keep forgetting that dog.
Molly the gambling dog.
Molly, yeah. There we go. That's it.
Yes. Molly, she's my good luck charm. I've been struggling as of late, and I need her. I need her by my side.
All right, Molly, give Jose some help. Help him break down Yankees Rangers. Let's go.
I'll tell you, this is a very stinky game, but I would lean the Rangers here simply based off the fact they don't want to get swept. I'm pretty sure Yankees have won the first 2. Klubot, obviously, no hitter. We all know about that. Congratulations. But I can't imagine that the Rangers struggle again, right? I mean, they can't be this bad. I'd lean Rangers, but ultimately would not play this game at all. Pretty stinky.
All right, Conor, anything for you here? Yanks, Rangers.
Yeah, I'm staying off this one as well. Not enough here with the Rangers. The money, it's already moved down to even money. Yeah, and you see Corey Kluber? That guy gets real excited after a no-hitter.
Yay.
I know. He's like the most excited guy. He's just, the great no-hitter. Anyways. I know, that was funny to see. But Germán's pitched well lately. Yankees won 2-0. Usually I like a team that usually gets no hit. Usually they get a few runs, a few hits the next game. So if I were, I'm not betting it, but I'd lean Rangers here. I know the lineup's not that great with Judge and Stanton out. Some reason this game I could get over 7.5. We had a low scoring one yesterday. Maybe a sneaky over here in this one as well.
Yeah, razor sharp liking Texas. I do agree with that from a spot perspective. It's definitely a good Texas spot. It's not a good Yankee spot. I don't love it, especially after a guy threw a no-hitter. That's not usually a good bet on spot, especially laying a price on the road. So, yeah, I agree. From a spot perspective, it's definitely a good spot for Texas. And now that I see this Yankee lineup, and now that I see this Yankee lineup, which is, there's a couple big bats out of this lineup. So I understand the like for Texas in this game. Next up, we've got Washington and the Chicago Cubs. Ross and Williams on the mound. The total 10.5 here with the wind. Looks like it's blowing out. Warm day at Wrigley. Minus 115. Home favorites here, the Cubs. This is trouble, I think, for both of these guys. They both give up hard hit contact a lot, especially of late. These two pitchers. That's the one thing with Ross. I actually like what Ross has done at times this year. He's got decent numbers on the season coming into this start. But overall, he's seen sort of trended backwards the last few, and he gives up those fly balls and that hard hit contact rate, which, again, with a day like this, with the wind and the warm weather, mid-70 temperatures here at Wrigley, that could be a recipe for some trouble in this game today for Joe Ross. And it could be the same thing for Trevor Williams as well. 6.27 ERA for him coming into this start. Again, last start against the Tigers, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 innings. Was just laboring throughout. He's just had a really, really tough time. He hasn't gone more than 4 innings in any of his last 3 starts either. So going to see probably a lot of the Cubs pen. The walk rate is brutal for Williams, 11.4%. That's not going to cut it. That could be trouble here as well. So I think the table is set for runs in this game. It's a high total, but it's high for a reason. It's over or pass for me. I do have a small bet over 10. What do you think here? Conor, we'll start with you here. Nationals and Cubs.
Yeah, I think there will be runs here in this one as well. Ross can be up and down, but you're right. When he gives up fly balls and gives up jacks. Trevor Williams is just a fade for me. So the Cubs are minus 120. No way do I want the Cubs. If I were betting this one, give me the Nats on the plus 110. I lean the over. I just don't love betting over 10.5s regularly. I lean that way. Williams, he got rocked his last start. And what was that, in Detroit? He went 2 innings. He gave a ton of runs to a Tigers team that can't really hit a lick. And a couple player props. Kyle Schwarber's got 3 jacks. We'll get a jack of the day siren. Big show. He's 8 for 26 with 3 home runs. Trey Turner's got a couple hits, and both of them home runs off Williams as well. So a couple player props for those guys.
Yeah, there you go. Schwarber's got the really big numbers against Williams, the 8 for 16, but it's also the 3 home runs. Trey Turner, 2 home runs. Starlin Castro, a home run. So Turner and Schwarber in particular, there's your guys to target home run props against Trevor Williams today. Jose, what do you think here? Washington and the Chicago Cubs.
Molly and I were discussing this, and she's not a fan of Bears. So the Cubs, unfortunately, are out. I was right there with you, Conor. I do like Joe Ross, the boss. Over 10.5 seems excessive. It's a high number, but the wind in Chicago is pretty tough. And I see the chats talking about this. I don't know how many people know this, but they changed the balls preseason in response to all the balls last year being juiced. They deadened it a little bit, but as we can tell with 6 no-hitters now, I think that's something.
6 or 7, yeah.
They've done something to it that has allowed pitchers to get a little more spin on the ball. Curves are breaking more and everything, along with it's not only just the pitchers, the hitters all or nothing approach, home run or strikeout has really allowed for no hitters to thrive now, which I think is interesting. That's why I've been on unders this year. Conor, you kind of put me on the first 5 under train. I've been betting them all year. I'll still keep betting them, but that's why I'm saying the 10.5 just seems wild to me. And the Red Sox and Blue Jays, they've had it's in Dunedin, windy, my minor league park or spring training. They've struggled to get over 10. Like they had an 8
struggle yesterday.
Yeah,
it just got 10. Yeah.
And so I can't endorse a 10.5. If anything here, I really just think that maybe you bet the under and hold your nose, as you guys say, and hope for the best. But it's mostly a pass for me.
All right, mostly a pass for Jose with Washington and the Cubs. On we go now. We've got the first of the doubleheader next up. We got Houston, Oakland first. We got Luis Garcia here and Cole Irvin in this matchup. Houston minus 115, road favorites 8.5. Told they bombed the Athletics last night with ease, 8-1. A big win for Houston in that one. So now this is pretty much the rubber match in this series. They've split the first 2 games. We'll see. And this is, again, battling for first place in the AL West right now, these 2 teams. So it's a pretty big game. Luis Garcia, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag, I guess you could say, but I think there's been more good than bad from him. He's given up 3 run or less in 3 of his last 5 appearances. So that's good. 4.2 ERA in 15 innings this month. So again, he's been a little bit of bad, a little bit of good. I really like Cole Irvin. The lefty here for the Oakland Athletics, 3.02 ERA so far this season for him, 39 strikeouts for him in 48.2 innings. So getting a good amount of swings and misses. He was rock solid in his last start, 6.2 innings of work and only allowed 1 single run against the Twins. Remember, it was the bullpen that got into trouble in that game. None of it was Cole Irvin's fault. He pitched really well in that game. Here's the issue, though. I like Irvin. I like his stuff. I like the way he's trending right now, but he's a lefty. Houston hits lefties. Houston's hit him. pretty good in the past. That's what I can't get past here. I kind of lean Oakland a little bit here. Bounce back spot. Nice little price here, slight home underdog, but Cole Irvin has not necessarily fared well against the Astros. Yordan Alvarez has crushed him 4 for 5. Correa's 2 for 4. Diaz is 2 for 3. So you've got some concerning numbers for Cole Irvin against this Astros lineup. So that's the tough part for me. I do lean Oakland first 5 full game, but the success that we've seen in the past for the Astros against Irvin is probably why I'm going to stay off. What do you think here, Conor? Houston, Oakland.
Man, you got right to what I was going to say. That's why I'm going to stay off this game. I like Cole Irvin. I think it's a good spot for the A's. I lean them here with the plus money. But Astros have just been hot, and they've hit lefties. And not only that, they've hit Irvin, who I like as a lefty too, pretty good. 3-4, 3 ERA. And his record probably could be a little bit better than that with a few losses early on. But yeah, I just lean that way. Astros too hot hitting lefties, too hot hitting him. So I'm just going to stay away. I don't want Garcia at a -120. If you like the Astros, I'd maybe take the first 5 a half a run. If you really think they're hot right now, maybe get a little value plus money with them early.
All right, Jose, what do you think here? Astros A's.
What about a little team total action, guys? It's been a while since we talked team totals on this program, with me at least. So I'm liking Astros team total over 4.5. I've got it at even money. You know, you have your swerving Irvin insurance, I guess, like you guys say. You touch him up pretty well. He's a lefty. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball. Jose Altuve props as well. He's been tearing the cover off the ball recently. You can look at that. But I think my play in this game would be Houston team total over 4.5, even money.
Yeah, and that way you don't have to worry what Oakland does against Garcia or doesn't do. That's always the advantage of that. All right, now we got the Twins and Angels. They're doing a doubleheader today. This is the first game of it. Lewis Thorpe, Alex Cobb, the pitching matchup in game 1 of the double dip between these two teams. We've got the Twins here actually pretty much even money, -110 both sides. Total 7, shaded to the under. Again, a lower total. It's a 7-inning baseball game because it's part of a doubleheader. Could we see runs? Possibly. I'm not a big Lewis Thorpe guy, but I'm also not big on the Angels against any sort of lefty this season. That's been a problem for the LA Angels lineup. An LA Angels lineup, again, that continues to try to patch things together without the services of Mike Trout for an extended period of time. But then on the flip side, I definitely think Alex Cobb is not someone I trust to mow down the Twins, 5.48 ERA. So I do lean over. Maybe I stick to just a Twins team total over. You talked about team totals last game, Jose. Maybe this is a Twins team total over because I just don't want to worry about what the Angels do against lefties. Like, the Angels have been shut down at times this season by some really bad lefty pitching. Mediocre, I should say, at best. Martin Perez comes to mind over the weekend against the Boston Red Sox. I mean, this has just not been a very, very trustworthy lineup and say, yeah, I can bank on them even against a mediocre lefty like a Lewis Thorpe to be able to hit them. They just have consistently not been able to hit lefties game in and game out, even ones that you think they should have success against because they're not very good. So I think if anything, I definitely lean full game over 7, but maybe a safer bet is just isolate the Twins against Cobb because I do think they'll have some success there in that particular matchup. And if you look at previous results, Cruz has crushed Alex Cobb, 10 for 25, 3 home runs. There's your home run prop in this game as far as I'm concerned. Nelson Cruz against Alex Cobb. You look at Lewis Thorpe, minimal at bats, so you don't want to make too much of it, but a hit for Upton, a hit for Walsh, a hit for Iglesias against him. But again, a lefty, I don't always trust the Angels against them. So I do lean to the full game over, but the Twins team total over might be a little bit safer because I got more faith in them hitting Cobb than the Angels hitting Thorpe. What do you think here, Conor? First game of the doubleheader.
You know me, I just don't bet doubleheaders, but I'll go through it here. Thorpe made a spot start against the Angels before. You're right. They can't hit lefties. And he gave up like 3 runs over 3 innings, something like that, when he made that spot start. So the Angels got a few runs off him. I kind of like your look on the Twins team total. I think they can get to Cobb, and there's a lot of good numbers going through the lineup that have hit him pretty well. We got to get 4 runs in 7 innings. That's just my whole thing. That's why I'm staying off. But I like your team total there, especially it's plus money at plus 110. You could look the Angels way too. Their team total is plus 125. Can they get 4 runs even off a guy like Thorpe? We'll see. But double dip, I lean Twins, but I'm staying off.
Yeah, the Twins' offense is not going to be this bad all season. This is still a decent lineup, and that's been part of the reason that they're 14-27. It hasn't been all the pitching. Most of it has been the pitching, but the lineup definitely hasn't done as much as we thought. They missed Buxton.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't 2 years ago. You said, "What? You missed Byron Buxton? Are you kidding me?" But now Byron Buxton turned into that good of a hitter. His improvement from just 2 years ago to now has been immense. And now, since he's been out on the injured list, they've missed him badly, and that's definitely going to help when they finally get him back. But in the meantime, today, I think they could put some runs on the board. What do you think here, Jose? Twins Angels game 1.
I actually have a research question for my man Vitalis in the chat. I would appreciate if Vitalis, you could look up what the Twins' record is against in doubleheaders this year, because I don't think they've won a doubleheader this year. I don't think they've won a doubleheader, and I don't think they've won an extra inning game this year as well. So I think both of those things are really.
My head, that sounds close to right. Yeah.
I think it's about that, and I don't understand it either. But that trend eventually is going to break, and I think we see a lot of runs today. Alex Cobb, like you guys said, gets touched up. Nelson Cruz touches him up, and Donaldson are both in this first lineup. I'm on the over 7. I liked it. I was actually looking at Bovada right now because they have different lines. You can pick your number for team totals. I was looking at Minnesota Twins over 4 plus 130. So I like that as well. But I would stick a lot of runs in this first game for sure. Alex Cobb, they thought they could do the Dylan Bundy thing, take the Orioles pitcher and revive him. Turns out that Dylan Bundy is not good, and Alex Cobb is still not good either.
All right, we have the Marlins and the Phillies next up on the Thursday slate. This is the first of the night games. All the games from here on out are tonight. We've got Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins, Vince Velasquez for the Phillies. Phillies slight home favorites here at Citizens Bank. The total 8 in this game. That's just that old line. Just when they thought it was out, they pulled me back in. I thought I was out of betting against Velasquez after his last start. I'm like, I'm going to leave Velasquez alone for a bit because he's pitched a lot better than I thought. But now he's matched up against Sandy Alcantara, who I think's in a prime bounce back spot. I think he's going to be fine. Don't worry about that last start against the Dodgers. Hey, he finally had a terrible outing, and it came against one of the better lineups in baseball. I don't think that's anything to panic about if you're Sandy Alcantara. I think he's still going to be fine. I think he'll bounce back here against this Phillies team that's just not hitting consistently one game to the next. We've seen them shut down. How did they get shut down by Anthony Kay of the Blue Jays just recently and in one of those games? Like, I do not have any reliance right now on this Phillies lineup at this point in time. So, yeah, Velasquez has pitched better. Maybe he's going to get me again. I thought I was not going to bet against him here, but I just can't pass up a plus price with the better arm. And to me, the better arm right now is still Alcantara. And Velasquez, as good as he's been, have you seen his track record against the Marlins in the past? Oh, it is hideous. It is absolutely ghastly. 15.41 ERA in his career against the Miami Marlins. That is absolutely atrocious. So the question is, will it carry over? Because Velasquez in those starts was pretty bad. Right now, the current Velasquez is actually pretty solid. So I still have to take Miami here. I'm on them first 5 full game split. Conor, what do you think? Marlins, Phillies.
I'm with you here. Yeah, Velasquez, Chris said it. I know. You take him and you fade him, and then he pitches a great game. He's not an easy guy to, but he's got bad numbers, like you just said, Ian, against the Marlins here.
Terrible.
I was on the Marlins first five under yesterday. With him on the mound, I'm not going to go first 5 under, 4.5. I think Alcantara bounces back, like you said. He had a horrible outing against the Dodgers. The first 5's minus 120. I have full game even money. I lean full game a little bit more. A little bit better price. And you're right. These guys, Anderson's got a couple homers. Rojas 7 for 17 with a home run. He's hitting over 400 against Velasquez. Give me more Marlins. I think they beat the Phillies here today.
All right. Liking the Marlins as well. Conor Mack. Jose, where do you stand here with Miami and Philly?
I'm going Sandy Alcantara strikeout prop over 6.5 plus 114. I like that. The only concern for me in this game would be the Marlins offense. You know, I've said it before. It's just they really don't have that big bopper.
Yeah.
Jazz Chisholm's too young to be that guy. Jesus Aguilar, I love him to death, but he's just not that guy. Can't be consistently driving in runs for you and everything. Velasquez, I mean, he stinks. He's not a pitcher I'd want on my squad. He's definitely their rotational depth. So I would lean Miami here. Give me some strikeout props from Sandy, but it's a tough game. Like someone said I think it's non-applicable. Tough card today. Super tough card.
Yeah. Velasquez, one run each of his last 3 starts. Guy just keeps pitching well. It's crazy.
I can't say he stinks right now. He doesn't stink right now. He did previously, but I can't say. I hope he stinks tonight, though, because I still think like you watch these two guys and you say Alcantara's got better arm, better stuff, but somehow Velasquez, he's done well so in the last few starts. But let's see if he can keep it going tonight. I'm not totally convinced. Maybe if he beats me tonight, then I'll finally say enough, and we'll stay away from his starts for a little bit. Maybe. Next up, we'll get on the board Pittsburgh and Atlanta. We've got Will Crow and the lefty Drew Smiley for the Braves. Atlanta minus 220 home favorites here in this game. Actually, it's gone down a bit, down to about minus 200 in a lot of spots. The total 8.5, 9, depending on where you look in this game. I'm not a Drew Smiley fan, not even the slightest. He's had a difficult season for the most part for this Braves team. 5.23 ERA. The over's 5-1, by the way, in his 6 starts. And that doesn't surprise me because I've been on a lot of the overs in Drew Smiley's appearances this season. His numbers in this home ballpark here, Truist Field in Atlanta, are absolutely abysmal. He's given up 11 runs in 5.1 innings in this ballpark. That is absolutely dismal right now for Drew Smiley. 2-0 to the over as well in those 2 games. So I don't know if he's going to have success here. The last time he faced the Pirates, it was a couple years ago, but 4 runs allowed in 5.2 innings. The one thing I'll say about the Pirates lineup is sometimes they're a little sketchy, and even against lefties, that includes facing southpaws. So yeah, but they should get him a little bit in this game. And on the flip side, you've got Atlanta taking on Will Crow. And Will Crow, nothing about his start so far says, wow, excellent stuff here. 3 runs allowed, 6 hits, 5 innings in his last start against a light-hitting San Francisco team. He faced the Cubs. He faced St. Louis. He's faced some okay lineups. I think Atlanta's lineup is better than all of them. So this is a game where I think both pitchers get hit up a little bit. I do like this game over the total, 8.5, 9, depending on what you can get. I don't mind it at either number. This is a big price, but I don't want to take Pittsburgh or Crow. But boy, it is also a big, big price to be laying with someone like Drew Smiley, who's given up 11 runs in 5 innings in his home ballpark this year. That's just not good at all. Conor, what do you think here, Pirates and Braves?
Yeah, I lean Braves. This is a huge number, like you just said. For Drew Smiley, I know he's pitched pretty good. His last start or 2, he had a decent start, but I can't trust him. The Braves, though, should hit Crow. This is a perfect guy. They just rip a righty like this, kind of like the Dodgers. Braves just eat him up. I can't go Pittsburgh. Can Pittsburgh get some runs? Because I'm with you here, Ian. I lean the full game over 9. The Braves have had a ton of overs at home all year. It's at even money. Can the Pirates get these runs off Smiley? That's the big thing with that lineup. They've just been cold. This month, the Pirates haven't scored any freaking runs. They got to do it today to get over this 9. So I lean that way, but probably a game I'm just going to stay off.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. Jose, Pirates, Braves.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to my well again. I kind of like the Pirates today, like you guys said. Smiley is 200 is crazy. That's nuts to me. It feels like bookmakers think that this is just going to be a slugfest. So I like the over 9 as well. Even money right now on Bovada. And I like Pirates first 5 plus 150. I'm not sold on Drew Smiley. I'm not. You guys continue to reinforce that. The Pirates bullpen obviously not good enough to win the game. So let's go back to the well. I've done it a couple times on this program, and it's worked out for me. So I'll take Pirates plus 150, and I'll take the over as well. Over 9, I think it said.
Yeah. There's actually 8.5 at DraftKings. So look around. There's still a couple stray 8.5s out there. But as long as there's an 8.5 out there, we can get you 8.5, which is what we see at DraftKings. A couple others as well. Boston and Toronto. We've got the Red Sox and Jays here next up. It is the Blue Jays minus 130 home favorites, 9.5 the total. I got there with the over in last night's game with the Red Sox and the Jays, mostly thanks to Boston absolutely shelling poor Ross Stripling in early in that game, especially in the first inning. It was pretty much over for the Jays at that time. And look, I thought they actually had a little bit of a pitching matchup. I didn't bet a side, but I kind of thought, Richards has actually pitched serviceable the last few outings for the Red Sox. He kept them at kept the Blue Jays bats silenced and at bay, and let the Boston offense do the rest. Tonight, I think the shoe might be on the other foot, but I don't want to totally say that. I mean, I do favor bats a little bit here over Pivetta, but Pavetta's been good, 3.16 ERA. The one thing that's bothersome for me in this game, and hate to say it because I'm happy he's doing well and he's Canadian, but he has given up a shit ton of fly balls, and that's not going to fly, no pun intended, in this ballpark. All right. That's the problem with Pivetta. A lot of fly ball outs, and fly ball outs in this ballpark leave the yard. So I'm worried about that for him. And a power hitting team like the Blue Jays that can crush the ball, go for the long ball. I've got to look a little bit here toward Toronto here, first 5 and full game split. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of back and forth. I went here, but I like the spot too for Toronto off a loss. They've been very good when they've been shut down offensively. I think the last 4 games they've scored less than 5 runs. They've won the next game and they've scored at least 4 runs. So I like that situation here. Pivetta, again, with the fly ball rate being sky high, that worries me in this ballpark. So maybe you could try to squeak out a first 5 under if you have the guts, but I can't do it in this ballpark. But I will split up the Blue Jays between the first 5 and the full game here. What do you think here, Conor? Red Sox, Jays.
Yeah, that's what can this stay under 5.5? I'm sure looking at it, I'm really thinking about this game. Yesterday, I had the over. It finally got there. I thought it was going to be easy. It was, 8 runs in the second inning. And I had the Red Sox. I lean Red Sox again. They're just hitting. They had a few games where they didn't hit anything. But I'd like the plus money with them. I don't think the Blue Jays are that great. Mats has kind of got me all year, and if I took the Blue Jays today, Mats would get ripped. So, I'll just stick with the Red Sox here. I'm leaning that way. Again, I don't know if I want to go first 5 or full game. And I got to lean, I think, the full game over 9.5. Taking these overs for me have been, goddamn, to get there has been crazy. So I lean that way, but I don't know if I'll pull the trigger.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. Nick Pivetta, they're 7-1 in his 8 starts. I definitely saw that, and I'm like, well, it's been pretty good, but I don't know if I like him in this ballpark. It's just a ballpark fit that worries me for an extreme fly ball guy. What do you think, Jose, here, Red Sox and Jays?
Ian, I can feel your hate, the hate you have in Nick Pivetta. I can feel it. You haven't liked him all year.
Guys, Canadian, he's pitching well. I'm happy for him, but I can't be betting with heart. I got to be betting with gut and with brains. And the brains say that he's giving up too many fly balls now. But the brains also might be destroying me because it also says he's 7-1 in his 8 starts there. Boston is 7-1 in his 8 starts this year. So that's a track record I'm going against, unfortunately.
I love that. See, that's why I gave out today on Jimmy's show on my play of the day was Red Sox money line. 0-2 so far on those plays of the day. So shout out to me. I do a lot better on this show than on Jimmy's show so far, which I find hilarious. But I really believe in the Red Sox today. They got shit pumped in the game 1. Alex Cora, I think got into them a little bit. Game 2, told them what's up, and then I think they really need to win this series. So I think Cora and the boys get them together, get them going. I like the over 4.5 team total as well. Yeah, I know you're a big weather guy, Ian. In the wind's blowing southeast, we're going in. I don't know where the ballpark is like. I can't tell you, but it's southeast to south, and it's 18 to 22 mile per hour wind. So I'm hoping the wind knocks down some of those fly balls from Pivetta.
That's true. It could save him. That's good win for Pivetta. That helps Pivetta. That win forecast.
We need the win. We need the win. But I like Red Sox today. And if they don't win today, then I'm just in the doghouse and it's fine. But as long as I'm consistently winning or losing, that's all that matters.
All right, Barrios and Canning, the second of the doubleheader is next up. Twins and Angels. Twins minus 120, road favorites, 6 the total in this game. Again, I don't bet a second game of a doubleheader. I rarely do anyway, but I definitely don't bet it until the first game is over. So it's hard to really prognosticate here. And just generally, Barrios is the one Twins pitcher that I just generally don't want to bet against. I don't always bet on him either, but I just have a reluctance to bet against him. So it would be Twins or nothing for me in this game. Conor, any lean, even if you don't bet it?
Yeah, I'm with you. I like Barrios, but we'll see after game one. I just don't love it. Right, he's minus 120. We'll see if the players like Donaldson, those guys sit game two. So double headers with me. I'm probably just gonna pass.
All right, Jose. Anything Twins Angels game 2?
I'll save it. I'm gonna say no, but yes, because I'm gonna save it for the end. A little tease for you.
All right, there we go. A little tease for the end of the show, and then we got a little bit of a hockey inquiry coming up from Jose later on as well. So keep that in mind. We'll have to wait and see. One of my guys, and I feared that this could be a rough day for him, Tyler Mahle for Cincinnati. Tyler Mahle is getting waylaid today by the San Francisco Giants, 8-0.
Wow, beautiful.
And I have the over, so that's good. 8.5 in that game.
The Giants.
I have the over in the Tampa. I have a lot of overs today, so there better be some damn runs today. And same with Tampa, Baltimore. I took the over in that one with Kramer and Hill. But so good start with San Fran, definitely. And of course, I'm on the Cubs over. We got the Braves over. We might bet that Twins Angels, the team total. So there's some overs in the making for me today. Final game here: Arizona Diamondbacks and the LA Dodgers. It was initially, we don't know who the starter is going to be for the Dodgers. We know it's going to be Merrill Kelly for the Arizona Diamondbacks, 5.24 ERA. A lot of track record of struggle against some of these hitters of the Dodgers. Betts 2 for 3, Turner 3 for 4, Max Muncy 2 for 6 against Merrill Kelly in the past. Banged up team, although they're starting to get some of their injured hitters back. Ketel Marte in particular. Finally ready to return for this Diamondbacks team. They need all the help they can get right now, this Arizona lineup. So any returnees they can get from the injured list, that would be beneficial to them. It was going to be Edwin Uceda for them initially as the spot starter today for the Dodgers, but that is not confirmed yet. So speculation, but I'll tell you right now, Arizona's just beat up to shit right now. Dodgers are playing really good ball the last week to 2 weeks. I don't think I would bet anything but Dodgers, and because you're not going to get the value, probably a pass game for me. Conor, what do you think? Diamondbacks, Dodgers?
Yeah, probably a pass game. I know, like we talked about, maybe going the alternate minus 2.5. One thing on all these wins lately, they've won at least by 2, so they won on the regular run line, the Dodgers. So they're back kind of rolling on that run line. If they win, they've been winning by more than 1. So maybe look Dodgers run line, and maybe look. You just talked about how Kelly gets ripped. Perfect Dodger pitcher just to rip a guy like Merrill Kelly. The team total's over 4.5, and it's just minus 112. So maybe a Dodger team total over 4.5.
Yeah, those righties that throw the style that Kelly does. Yeah, that's right in the wheelhouse of this LA Dodgers team for sure. We'll see if that can keep going in that pattern today. Jose, any opinions for you here? Arizona and the LA Dodgers.
I don't even have this game on my card as Molly kicks my computer. So I don't even have the game on my card. So, but I do like that team total over by you, Conor. I like that a lot.
Yeah, definitely could see this Dodgers team score some runs. All right, we'll get to best bets and wrap up in just a second. But I guess this is your hockey inquiry segment of the show right here for Jose. What's Jose want to ask? Hockey. Pick my hockey mind here.
So
what do you got?
Ian, I don't know if you know this, but hockey is not a popular sport in Venezuela. So I'm a very casual hockey fan, as I wear my Bruins shirt. But I heard a little birdie told me that the Maple Leafs and Canadiens are playing tonight, and I wanted to know is that the equivalent of Yankees Red Sox playing in the playoffs?
Yes, very equivalent. Absolutely, it is. Now they don't have the rivalry that you'd like because, well, actually now they do because they're in the same division. But for a long time they weren't. But now they've got a rivalry. But the rivalry had gone stale because Montreal was bad when Toronto was good the last few years. And then before that, Montreal had a lot of good years and Toronto was pretty bad. But now they're good at the same time, right? For it to be a true rivalry, regional rivalry, you got to have two teams that are not only historical rivals, which obviously the Habs and the Leafs are. It goes back 100 years. But they want to see it when they're good at the same time. Montreal's got a good team and the Leafs have a good team. Leafs have one of their best teams in the last 20, 30 years for sure. And Montreal has kind of underachieved this year at times. But hey, I thought coming into the season, they had a team capable of contending for the Cup. They just haven't always played like it. And they've had injuries and they've had some guys disappointing seasons overall. But they're still good teams, both of them, at the same time. It's the first playoff series in 42 years for these storied franchises against one another. People that like Leaf fans and Habs fans chirp each other all the time. I know it firsthand because 90% of my hockey fan friends are either Leafs fans or Habs fans. So they've been chirping back and forth. It's going to be exciting. No question about that this series. And yeah, it rivals Yankees Red Sox in terms of, regional rivalry, dislike, and obviously how hyped it gets for that sport.
Okay. My other question is, I had two for you. I made a wager with Jimmy the Bag, and you can call me a homer or whatever, but I bet him a fine dinner, Ian, at one of the establishments here in San Antonio. I bet him that the Bruins would advance farther in the playoffs than the Colorado Avalanche. Now, I would love.
Gosh, Jimmy is the favorite to win that bet. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, so that's why I was going to ask you.
He said, "I'll take that bet."
Odds. What are the odds here? You can handicap for me. How bad am I down?
I'd say, Colorado right now is like laying minus 300, minus 350 at home against St. Louis, and St. Louis isn't chopped liver. So you're probably I think Jimmy's still probably, if I put Boston and you switch out St. Louis and put Boston, I think Colorado's not quite as favored, but I'd still say Jimmy, a.k.a. Colorado, is like minus 275 to beat you.
Wow, yeah. I was going to say 200, 180.
You guys have, I don't know, Ian, if you've already given this out, do you have predictions for the Stanley Cup real quick? Who will be in it?
Colorado and Carolina. I said it right from the start of the year, actually, Colorado and Carolina, and I'm sticking with it. I'm not a flip-flopper. I said Colorado and Carolina, with Colorado being the champ at the very beginning of the season, so I'm sticking with it. And look, they're up 2-0, both of those teams in their first-round series, so I'm liking the start anyway.
Okay, Connor?
We'll have to wait and see.
I like the same.
Damn. Well, I'm down bad.
They look great. I mean, there's multiple teams that could get in. Can the Leafs do it? I mean, I didn't know we were going to turn to hockey talk, but can their defense is the best they've played in years that I've seen. They've always just kind of folded. Can they keep it up in the playoffs? We'll see. There's multiple teams. Can the Bruins? I think the Bruins, I don't think they get there in the end. I think they could get past the Caps here, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. I can't wait.
That's the thing about hockey. It's wide open. Lots of parity.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. There's no question. But boy, Colorado's not only looked good in the first two games, they've just dominated. They've just crushed St. Louis in shots on goal, scoring chances, puck possession, all of that stuff. And it feels like when they play that way, it's going to be difficult to beat them. But great hockey talk. A little hockey sprinkled in with your baseball here on the Closing Time Show. All right, best bets coming up in just a second. Before we do that, though, as we do each and every day on this show at this time, we'll pause for a message from Manscaped. All right, Manscaped, promo code PubSports. Make sure you check them out. Take care of all those parts if you're a man, and Manscaped helps you do that. Promo code PubSports. MyBookie.ag as well. Promo code PubSports. NHL, NBA playoffs. are here. Major League Baseball daily, the golf's underway, the PGA Championship, second major of the year. Of course, the U.S. Open. That's not far off either. The third major, Father's Day weekend tradition, June, U.S. Open golf. So that's coming up. We've got UFC cards every weekend, pretty much. So mybookie.ag, use Bitcoin as one of the currencies accepted for deposit. Mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. All right, let's go to best bets, guys. Slim pickings, smaller card. But Conor, where are you going for best bet?
Yeah, it is kind of. I like a few overs. Maybe that Braves game. But give me a plus money team. I think the wrong team's favored. Not that Ross is anything great. But give me the Nationals at plus 110. I just got to fade Williams. I think he gets hit hard. So give me the Nats plus 110. And that leads to my jack of the day. Give me Schwarber. He needs to hit one here since he's been back playing his old team. He hasn't yet. He's got 3 homers. We talked about it earlier. And you got to take Nelson Cruz, 10 for 25, 3 bombs, hitting 400. Cruz, Schwarber, big show, jack of the day.
There we go. And Nelson Cruz, put him in the jack of the day category as well against Alex Cobb in the first game of that doubleheader. Those are devastating numbers that he has against Alex Cobb. Jose, what do you like for best bet?
Is it cheating if your best bet is playing 2 games today? There you go. Do you have to? Do you get both games? I don't know. But I think my best bet today. I already gave out Red Sox money line plus 120, so I won't be doing that again. I'll try to diversify here. I think I'm going to go with Pittsburgh versus Atlanta. The Braves over 9. I think both pitchers are trash, as you say. They are washed. So I'll take Pittsburgh. Garbage. You can. There's a lot of things you can say. I by the way, I'm also disappointed. We didn't get any impersonations, any impressions today from him. No DeSclafani today. Nothing from him. Damn.
There's no Paisans pitching. That's why.
Yeah, no Paisans pitching today.
Damn. Why we need more Paisans today? I don't know what we can do for Canadians, but dang.
Nope. It's unfortunate, but there you go. Pittsburgh, Atlanta over 9 for Jose with his best bet on today's card. I'm going to go Miami Marlins. I'm actually going to go full game because the first 5 is actually minus 115. I'd rather go for the better price. Full game. Yeah. Hope the Miami bullpen can hold that lead late, but I'm going to go Miami Marlins plus 104 full game against the Philadelphia Phillies. The Velasquez fade lives for at least one more day. Miami Marlins plus 104 against Philadelphia. That'll be my best bet for this Thursday card. That'll wrap up this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. We're back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, with another MLB Closing Time Show, Conor and I. And tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, NBA Closing Time. We'll talk about the West play-in, the 8 seed matchup. It's going to be Golden State and Memphis battling for that 8 seed. We'll preview that game, and we'll also have a full, complete NBA playoff preview tomorrow, Friday. Conor, Ski, and I will go down through every series prices, who's going to win the series, how many games, all the series price options that are available. We'll go through them for the NBA playoffs tomorrow on the Friday edition of the NBA Closing Time Show. So join us for that as well. For Conor Mack and Jose Bouquett, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Thursday. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Pub Sports Radio.